What is up, guys? Welcome back to Adventures in Rice, where we look at ways that you can live better for less. And today we're going to be taking a look at this Neewer RGB LED portable light, the SL80. So let's go. Okay guys, so if you're looking for a portable RGB LED light, then you might have considered the newer models. There is an SL70 and an SL80. Now typically with newer models, the numbers in the light names denote how many LED bulbs are actually in it. So on the SL70, there's going to be about 70 bulbs. The 80 here is 80. And if we take a look at one of these, this is the Neewer 480. So there are actually 480 individual bulbs in this panel here, and this is what I use for all of my videos. So I've got a main one up here in front of me, and there is a smaller one in the background, just lighting up the background there as well. So the trouble is that these are around about £80 upwards just for a white or yellow bulbs. The RGB ones are about 90 and upwards. They do run off batteries if you want them to, but generally I would run these off the mains, and as you can see they're not particularly portable. You can put them on a light stand, but again that's more to carry, so these aren't particularly portable. I was looking for something a little bit smaller, something with some effects as well, and as I say, because these are just white and yellow bulbs, there is no colours I can use, so the ones in the background I often use with filters. So with that in mind, I was looking for something a bit more portable, and I opted for the SL80 by Neewer. If we take a quick look at some of the specs here, you can see that it has a built-in 4150 milliamp rechargeable battery, and you charge that using the USB Type-C cable that comes in the box. Now most sources that I've looked up say that you'll get around about 2 to 3 hours on a full battery charge if you're running it at 100%, and as you'll see later, you probably wouldn't be running it at full power. It has a 360 degree full color setup, and basically what that means is that using the app here, you can use this color wheel in order to pick your colors rather than adjusting each individual color separately. There are 9 light effects. They're not as great as you think, we'll go over those shortly, and the color temperature ranges from 3200 Kelvin to 8500 Kelvin. It does say that it's a video light for gaming, YouTube, vlogging and photography. Personally, I wouldn't use it for photography unless you're doing things like close-ups or macro work. As we scroll down, you can see it's fitted with Bluetooth, that's to use the app. Now one thing to point out about the app is that it does require you to create an account. Now that's not too bad by itself, but it does also want access to location services when you're pairing and adding devices. Fortunately, once you have paired the light to the app, you can then turn that location requirement off, and you never have to turn it back on again. So it will work from the app. It's just when you're adding new devices or adding more lights, you just need to turn it on for a couple of minutes just to pair it, and then you can turn it off straight away after that. As we scroll down, you'll be able to see here it is listed as a 10 watt RGB light, and further down here it's got the dimensions. I'll leave these on the screen for a few moments. Okay guys, before we open the box up and have a look inside, I wanted to go over the cost. Now as I say, the 480s that I use, the panel lights, they cost about £80 to £90 each, and they do go up if you buy them as a kit or with any accessories. I wanted to get a hold of something smaller that was more portable and had a few more functions, in particular the RGB function. As I say, the ones I use already are just white and yellow. So the first place I looked was on Amazon, and as you can see here, we got the Neewer SL80 Pocket RGB video light, and it is £65. You do have to pay postage on top of that unless you wait, and I don't like to wait, so obviously that is an additional cost that is you might want to consider. As you know, we don't like paying full price for anything, and this channel, as you know, is all about saving you that money. So I immediately had a look on eBay. Now they have the same item here, you can see it's the same price, £65, but we can, as always, use TopCashBack, which is going to get us a percentage off. As always, the link is in the description. Sign up with TopCashBack, and basically if you use their links, they will pay you the commission that they receive. So you can see here, I bought this on the 19th of March, it turned up on the 22nd, and it cost me $46.70, we'll go over that in just a second, and we're going to be getting 47p back on that. On top of that, you've got a 15% discount code with this particular supplier. Now typically a lot of these suppliers are drop shippers, which means they're bringing in the items from outside of the UK, typically places like China. Sometimes that can be a long delay in delivery, sometimes you get better prices, and sometimes it can be fake items, so it's always worth watching out for that. But this particular one, you can see, is $65.99. We get 15% off of that, and we're going to be getting money back through TopCashBack. That's £56 with free postage in 3 days instead of £66, so we're saving £10 on that, which is around, I don't know, 17-18%. So a big saving straight away. So remember, whenever you are looking to purchase something online or even in a store, see if they have a website, see if it's on TopCashBack, and you can always save yourself some money. So if we now jump into opening up the box, so it came in this brown box, Neewer branding across the front. You can see on the back here it says Neewer or Neewer, depending how you want to say it, SL80 app RGB fill light, made in China. So inside the box we have a packet of silica gel to keep things dry. They're always worth grabbing and chucking in drawers and things like that. There is an FCC warning, we don't need that. There is a customer support piece of paper there with the QR code to customer service. A small manual in various different languages you've got in there as well. And then the light itself. So it's all pretty well packaged, to be honest. We also have a carry case for it, which I use a lot of Neewer stuff, and they do come with these little cases with a lot of their items, and they are pretty cool. In the bottom then, if I move the box out the way, we have a small bag of accessories, and inside of here you have a USB-C type charging cable, so that's how you charge the battery inside the unit itself. There is also a mount adapter, so if you wanted to, what you can do is mount the light on top of a camera or something like that. There is also in the bottom of the box here an arm bracket as well. So what you can do here is mount the light to this bracket, and then you mount the bracket to a light stand or on top of your camera or anything like that, and then that's going to give you a slightly offset light, which gives you a much better image and video picture then as well. Okay, so if we look at the light itself, it is about the size of a mobile phone. This is my Galaxy S7, Samsung Galaxy S7. You can see it's about the same sort of size. The light itself, it's got basically a plastic coating over the front. You do have controls down the side here, we'll go over those just now. And on the bottom you've got the thread for your lights or your tripods or anything like that. So again, you can put this on a tripod. It also has a magnet built into the casing, so if you wanted to and you didn't have any mounts or any tripods for it, you can stick it straight to metallic surfaces or anything that's magnetized. On the back here you have a small screen underneath this sticker here, and that's pretty much it. It's fairly basic, fairly compact. It does have quite a few features, and we're going to go over those just now. So you have a row of buttons and functions down the side. The top one here is the power, that's on and off. You hold that down for about 3 seconds and that's going to turn the unit on. It's also the mode button, so it will cycle through some of the different modes we're going to go through in a second. Underneath that you have like a rocker switch, which allows you to select different things from the menu. You push it in to press enter to accept. And then underneath here you can see you've got the dimmer, the adjustment for the brightness, and then the USB Type-C charging port at the bottom. You can also run the light while it is being charged as well, so that is a big bonus. Okay, so when you first turn the unit on, it's going to give you a flashing Bluetooth symbol, so it's going to be looking for any active connection, because you can download the app and control all of these features from your phone. We'll go over that at the end. The other icon here is the battery, and this is straight out of the box. I haven't charged it at all, so we had a full battery straight out of the box, which is great. And then obviously the main part of the screen here is your color temperature, and that will go all the way from 3200 Kelvin all the way to 8500. And that, if you didn't know, is just the color temperature of the light. So your blue to your orange. Sunlight is around about 5600. As you can see, if I change the value on here, the light on the desk is going to change from a blue into a more orange color. So if we drop that down all the way down to say 5500, that's about daylight color, and then we can go all the way down to 3200, which is, you can see, a lot more orange. So that's the first option in the menu. And before we jump into the other features of the menu, just to go over, obviously the dimmer switch on the side is how intense or how bright the light is. So you can turn the light up and down depending on how bright you need it. Now, to give you an idea of how that works in terms of practicality, if I turn this light off above me, this is a Neewer 480, like I say, running off the mains. It's very low power at the moment because it's so close and I don't need it that bright. But if I turn that off and then replace it with this SL80, you can see it does a really, really good job. Now, this SL80 is currently at 55%. If I turn that up to 100%, you can see that is more than enough light if you're doing anything at a desktop, if you're making YouTube videos or any kind of presentation videos, things like that. It's definitely going to do the job. So if we jump into some of the other features that the unit offers, all you have to do to change modes is obviously hit the mode button. As I said at the start, that doubles as the power switch. You hold it to turn it on, hold it to turn it off, and press it once to change the mode. So if we press that now, that's going to change the menu on the back and put it into the next mode. So you can see here the menu's changed to HSI, that is hue, saturation, and intensity. Your intensity, of course, being the brightness, and we control that with the dimmer on the side. As you can see, the color of the light is now changed to red, that is your hue, and then use the rocker switch. You can just cycle then through the different colors. You got blues, greens, yellows, oranges, whatever color you want. Once you're happy with the color, you push the rocker switch in, that's going to accept it, and move the option onto the next one, which is your saturation, and that's basically how much blue you want it. So if you didn't want so much blue, obviously that's 100%, we can drop that down a bit, so it's slightly blue, not quite as blue, and then all the way probably down to white. And to show you that in terms of practicality, I've set the light to 50%, and as you can see, we now have a blue light. If we flick that up, we can go for, say, red maybe. And we change that, that's obviously a red light there. That's at 50%. If we put it up to 100%, you can see that's really gonna start lighting up the room there as well. And blind you as well. So obviously don't stare straight into lights, even if they are low powered. Now moving on to the next feature, if we press the mode button again, it's going to change the screen, you'll see. And we have 3 different scenes. Now each of these different scenes have 3 sub options as well. You've got A, B and C. And again, use the rocker switch to flick between the scenes and flick between the options. So the first one here, this is lightning. Now I'm not very impressed with this. This is not a good option. The lightning here, as you can hopefully see, is a set sequence that's played on a loop. So it goes flash, 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 flash. And everybody knows lightning doesn't work like that. So it's good for a one-off, but you might want to quickly cover it up if you are filming anything and you want a lightning effect, because that is not representative of natural lightning. Now, as I say, you have sub options as well. So if we flick the rocker switch to option B, you can see that's supposed to be lightning again. But again, it's a set pattern that's played on a loop, so very, very unnatural. If I leave that there for a second, you can see it's exactly the same thing over and over again. So again, to give you more of an idea of the practicality of that, if I set this to, say, 100% and just point it up at the ceiling, there we go, you can see it's that's the kind of effect you're going to get. Maybe point it over there. If I point it directly at myself, it's a bit bright, but obviously we can turn that down. But the repetition really isn't good if you wanted a lightning effect. The next option we have on the unit is the party mode. Again, you've got A, B and C. So you press the rocker switch in, that'll take you to party mode. And option A is a fairly slow changing sequence of coloured lights. So this is the kind of thing you might want on in the back of a party. If we were to flick the rocker switch to option B, you've got a faster changing set of coloured lights. This might be more beneficial if you're making a small music video or something like that. And then option C, you've just got lights, a bit like stage lights, really. Moving on, we have our third set of options on here, and these are emergency services. It's very much geared towards American emergency services, unfortunately, but they do actually work pretty well. So we're going to press the rocker switch in again. That'll take us to the third set of options. The A is your classic American blue and red flashing lights, which looks pretty cool. Personally, I think that's probably the best one of the lot, particularly if you're into filmmaking. So option 2 then, I believe, is an ambulance. So you just flick the rocker switch, and that's going to fade in and out a lot more slowly. And then the third option is, I believe it's American fire trucks or just rescue services. So that's going to flash yellow and red. If I hold that up, there we go, that kind of thing there. So out of all of the scene options there, the only two I really see being of use are the American police cars, the red and blue. I don't think enough people know about the other ones, the orange and the yellow lights, but also the party mode is pretty cool. The lightning, it's a shame that that doesn't really represent lightning at all. As I say, you can control all of these features from your phone or your tablet. All you need to do is download the Neewer app, which can be found on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. If you flick to page 4 of the small manual here, there are QR codes so you can make sure you get the right one. Once that's installed on your device, all you need to do is pair it via Bluetooth, and then you'll have full access to all of the features. So as you can see here, we've got access to the brightness. We can drive that up and down, as well as the color temperature. We can go whiter or more orange. The same color options as before are still available, so we just pick HSI, and then you've got your brightness, your hue, which obviously is your color, and the saturation, or you can use the color wheel as well to flick between them. The next option, of course, is the scenes. So if you did want to turn off the lightning or the police light flashes, things like that, you can do all of that from the app as well. You simply hit scene, and then that's going to go into whichever scenes you want. So we've got squad car, there we go, ambulance, apparently. Fire engine is the yellow one. And again, you've got your party modes. In fact, sorry, that's fireworks. The first one is fireworks with the slow changing colors. The second one is the party, or the music video, I'd call that. And then C, you got candlelight. So apparently that's candlelight, flickering candlelight. Now again, the big problem with these modes that are trying to replicate natural light, like lightning, candlelight, things like that, is they're just so repetitive. They're completely unnatural. So they don't really work for what you'd probably want them to do. And then on the end, we got lightning. So that's the lightning again. Paparazzi actually was the second one, so that's supposed to be cameras. You might be able to get away with that for a short scene, but again, it's repetitive, it's on a loop, so it's very unnatural looking. And C is a display screen. This is actually supposed to be a TV static. It's on a loop, so it's very, very unnatural. Okay, so that is it for the scenes, modes and features and how they work on the unit itself. As I said, there is a thread on the bottom, so what you can do is if you have a tripod, you can, of course, connect that either to a tripod, a light stand, or using the adapter that comes with it, you can place it on top of your camera. And then once you've got that set up, you can just put that in wherever you want it. If we turn that, here we go. So as you can see, this is a great small pocket-sized portable light with a lot of flexibility and a lot of options for the money, especially when you compare it to some of the bigger lights. Now the bigger lights will give you far more coverage, a lot more light, and will be better overall, but they're going to be at least double the price, and they don't have the flexibility and the portability that this does. The one thing I would say is that if you were looking to add ambience to the backgrounds of your videos, as you can see here, I've got it set up on my printer, it's flashing away, it does the job, it looks all right. The problem is that that's £56. What I'd recommend instead is buying an RGB LED light bulb. This in the background, you can see, is the Connexon Smart LED bulb. You can pick that up on eBay for £9.60. You do have to pay postage on top of that, but you can use TopCashBack to get some money back. Again, reminder, link is in the description. But that can also be controlled from an app on your phone. So as you can see here, we've got the brightness. We can turn that up and down. We can turn the light on and off, and we can also select the color temperature, the color itself. We've got purple, blues, greens. This also has scenes. It doesn't have the flashing lights and the TV static and the lightning, but again, we've seen a lot of those. They don't really hold up to what they're supposed to be doing. But this does have a few scenes, so I normally set mine to this one called Gorgeous, which essentially it just cycles through some of the colors. So that would be a much better option and a much cheaper option if you were just looking for some ambient light to fill the background of your videos or your scenes, or even if you're having a house party, you can do the same. Because these bulbs are wireless and work on Wi-Fi, they can also be activated through things like Alexa and Google Home as well. So that's something to bear in mind. You're going to get a lot more for your money if you go for some of these RGB bulbs at £10 each, rather than the SL80 that we got at £56. It's a great unit, don't get me wrong, it's really good, it's nice and bright when it needs to be, it's very portable. This is great if you need to be going out of the house. If you're staying in the house and you've got a setup, definitely go for RGB bulbs instead. You're going to save a whole ton of money. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I hope it's been helpful to you. I hope if you're in the market for a small portable RGB LED light, this has given you some ideas and some good information. But certainly if you're in the market for them, have a look, check out the reviews. They are good. It's just depending what you're going to use it for, you could save a whole lot of money by buying RGB LED bulbs instead. And you can pick those up pretty cheap online, or even from places like Asda, Walmart, you know, your local supermarket. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, live better.